welcome back to the channel in this Warhammer 40,000 battle report. Today is a clash of machine versus machine. This is the planet that the Necrons have rose on, and the only thing there to meet them was the Skitarii, Cult Mechanicus and Knight war convocation, compromising of 3 Cerastus Knights. The mission today is Crusade. We've ended up with 4 objectives. Number 1, down here on the outskirts. Number 2, buried in the monastery. Number 3, in the ruins on this side. And number 4, across on the Manufactorum. So today is the debut of the Skitarii and Cult Mech, as I said. Josh is here, he's going to be playing them as he's done a little bit more research than me. And yeah, it's going to be a long game. We're going to forget rules. Please point stuff out if we get them wrong. But we shall expect a bloody and brutal matchup. Let's have a look at the armies. Right, so here we go. This is the 2,600 points of Necrons fighting the Mechanicum today. So, Reclamation Legion, we have the Overlord on a Catacomb command barge with Phylactery, Phase Shifter and the Void Reaper. He's also got a Gauntlet of Fire as well. We've got 2 units of 3 Tomb Blades. One has the Gauze Blaster, the other has the Particle Caster. All upgraded with Shield Veins and Nebula Scopes. Of course, we've got the Monolith, minus his Crystal, I need to get that out. We've got 2 units of 10 Warriors, 5 units of Immortals with the Blasters, and 5 Lich Guard with War Scythe. They're going to be a little bit naked due to me taking the command barge, and I didn't have the points to get a Royal Court in to give them a Cryptek. So yeah, expect them not to do anything. We've then got the Destroyer Cult, 3 units of 3, each unit has a single heavy in there. The Destroyer Lord has a War Scythe, Veil of Darkness, Phylactery and Phase Shifter again. We've then got the Canoptic Harvest with the Spider's running naked. The Wraiths have Whip Coils, and we've got 5 Scarab bases there. We've also got the Shard of the Nightbringer. Hopefully he doesn't die a horrible death like he did against Tom's Grey Knights. And then something new, we've got 2 units of 5 Flayed Ones. Why not? Let's try them out. Unfortunately, my Doomsday Arc isn't painted up, so courtesy of Josh, I'm borrowing his Annihilation Nexus. So hopefully this will be the thing that I'll be adding to the Necron force, and hopefully this is going to do some damage to the Knights. Let's hope. Right, so here it is, the debut of the Cult Mechanicus, Skitarii and Knights. Basically, war convocation. So, we're going to talk you through it. We'll try and explain why we took what choices. But it's a new army to both me and Josh. He knows a bit more due to researching it, but let's have a look. So, we've got, for the Oath Sworn.
It's an Oath Sworn, yeah.
We've got the Archaeon, the Castigator, and the Lancer. The 3 of them alone are going to be fucking brutal, aren't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, not looking forward to that. For the Cult Mech, we've got here Castellan robots with Datasmith. Datasmith, what's he got?
Datasmith has the auto something of Arcane Land. Neither of us can pronounce it, so we're not going to bother.
Yeah, basically his unit gets it will not die. Out of all of the artifacts, I think that one was probably the most
fitting to 2 monstrous creatures.
Yeah. Other than that, they are stocked with
yeah, weapons as seen. Twin linked phosphor blaster and a
Cognus Flamer.
It's a something flamer. It's Torrent Flamer.
Yeah, so there you go.
It's an Income Buster. That's it.
See, he knows the stuff, not me. I want to say breaches.
They're breaches, yes.
Breaches with arc rifles
and hydraulic claws.
That's the single strength 10 hit, isn't it?
That is the strength 7 AP dash or 1 strength 10 AP 2. Yes.
Fair enough.
Not bad.
The Dominus. What's he got?
Dominus has got a Phosphor Serpenta, an Eradication Ray, so as seen, then has conversion field and raiment of Technomata.
Can they take digital weapons? I think everything's got digital weapons regardless.
Everything that can take them has taken them, so yeah, probably does.
Right. Are we going to run him as the Warlord?
Yeah.
Right.
He gets the reroll if he's the Warlord for the detachment, so...
Fair enough. We'll see what the Warlord trait is at deployment. We've then got destroyers, and these have the grav. Torsion cannons are good.
Torsion cannons are very good, but
it's a single shot.
It's a single shot, and it's not really going to help me against Necrons, whereas the heavy 6 on the grav cannons most certainly will.
Brutal stuff. So that's the cult mech, as you can see. Didn't want to take any electro priests. I think they're a bit...
They're garbage.
Yeah. So, moving on to the Skitarii... What formation is it?
I don't know.
Basically, one of everything. So, we've got down here, we've got the Vanguard. Obviously, because of the models, you only actually get 2 Plasma Cavaliers. So they've got... what have they got?
They've got 2 Plasma Cavaliers.
Yeah.
One of them has a Omnispecs, as you can see.
That guy there.
Yep. And the Alpha, he's got Arc Pistol, Arc Maul, Conversion Fields, Digital Weapons, and he has the Pateradium Relic.
Which is take a toughness test, and if you fail it, it's D6 randomly allocate wounds with no armor saves.
And on a unit full of -1 toughness.
Great combo.
Makes sense, yeah.
So, we've then got Rangers.
Rangers are, again, have 2 arc rifles instead of 2 plasma calibers.
And then that weird thing that doesn't seem to want to be anything.
I don't actually understand that one, but hey, let's see what it does.
Yeah.
Their Alpha is loaded out exactly the same, except he has the Skull of Elder Nicola as opposed to the Pateradium, which is a late game thing, which I'll see how that works again.
It might work if you get close enough to the Annihilation Nexus.
Right, yeah, they're going to be around at the end of the game.
And there's one of them...
Another Omnispecs in that unit.
Yeah.
So
then we've got these guys, these are the Rust Stalkers.
Yep.
And they've got what, Cord Claw?
Yeah, Cord Claw, Transonic Razor, which is your base loadout. Again, the Alpha has Conversion Field and Digital Weapons. He also has the Omniscient Mask, is it?
Yeah, gives them Zealot.
Gives them Zealot, which is very good for a combat-oriented unit.
Especially, like, Josh reckons go for 2...
I say 2 Transonic Blades are probably better than a Razor and Cord Claw.
Because of the +1 strength.
Because of the +1 strength, if you're just hunting infantry. But against monstrous creatures and like the Fleshbane attack on the Cord Claw will probably be better for you.
Rerolling the hit as well.
Yeah, only on the Alpha, but even then, not bad. It depends on your target.
Right.
May vary.
We've then got Infiltrators.
Yep, Infiltrators are just as stock. They've got a stub carbine and a power sword each, with the exception of the Alpha, which has, as you can probably guess, Conversion Field and Digital Weapons. But he also has the Phase Taser, because I like the look of that relic and really want to try it.
Or is it fail an initiative test and removed from player?
Yep.
And they have -1 initiative within 6 inches?
Yep.
Why would you not? Really?
Yeah, exactly. Why would you not?
The last 2 things, I do have another one of each, which I'm currently painting. But obviously this is the minimum. We've got the Onager or Onager.
Onager Dune Crawler.
And the Dragoon as well. So what's on the Dragoon and the Onager?
Dragoon is as seen, has a lance and a Phosphor Serpenter. Okay, it's not as seen, it doesn't have a Phosphor Serpenter. Make a liar out of me on the internet. Sorry about that. The Dune Crawler has Cognus Manipulator, has a Cognus Heavy Stubber, alongside a Neutron Laser and a Mind Scanner Probe. No idea what a Mind Scanner Probe actually does.
I can't even remember now.
I don't suppose it really matters.
It was something important.
It was something important, but whatever.
So yeah, that is the War Convocation. Let's see what it's made of. so welcome back after the deployment. We've got Necrons deploying first. Josh won the roll-off and told me to deploy first. So we've got the Immortals in the ruins, the Lich Guard underneath, one of the Annihilation barges with the Doomsday Ark. We've then got the Wraith and a squad of destroyers with the Scarabs in front, the Spider hiding behind the building. Unit of 3 Tomb Blades in there with the other barge. The barge just staying nearby to the Doomsday Ark to pass the shield off if we need to. We've then got another unit of destroyers, the Overlord, and a unit of warriors. Meanwhile, on this side of the monastery, we've got the Monolith with the flayed ones in front, the other destroyers, the Destroyer Lord, and the flayed ones with the warriors. And then down the back here, we've got the other squad of Tomb Blades and the Nightbringer. Josh elected to counter deploy, which means I'm going first unless he seizes. So we've got the Castigator on this side, probably looking to mow down the Wraith, I'm guessing. Yeah. Along with the Vanguard and the Dominus. The Dominus sat at the front there to be able to tank any shots that I can put into him. Castellans and the Datasmith here, and the Archeon in the centre so we can Hellstorm either direction. Yep. We've got the Rangers on this side with the Lancer looking to make a charge straight up the centre, and I'm guessing he's going for the Overlord.
It's almost like a plan.
We've then got the Breaches with the Haywire straight across from the Monolith. What a surprise. We've then got the Neutron Laser Onaga, again looking straight across at the Overlord and the Wraiths. Infiltrators here, probably looking to minus any initiative. It is the initiative that they minus, isn't it?
Yep, and the weapons for the initiative.
Yeah, so basically he's keeping them there as a screen to keep us away from the Onaga and the Breaches and the Destroyers, so that I don't want to get close to them. Meanwhile, we've got the Rust Stalkers and the Dragoon just held back. I think he wants me to come towards him and then he's going to counter-charge with them.
Now they're fast enough to charge you whether you like it or not. So.
Fair enough. So, Necrons are going first. Do you want to seize, Josh?
I want to try.
Oh, I saw the 6 there. So, Necrons, turn 1. Right, so moving for the Necrons down here, we've moved the Wraiths forward about 9 inches and the Scarabs have moved 12. Yeah, he's probably going to go through them, but if any of them survive, at least the Wraith might not get charged by him. I say might, not. Might, we'll see. Yeah. The Destroyers and the Lich Guard have pulled forward. The Lich Guard, hopefully, if he charges the Wraith, I'll counter-charge. But that initiative 2 sweep might be nasty. Yeah. The Immortals just pushing forward to get some shots in. And the Annihilation Barge and the Doomsday Ark, again, looking to get shots in to start and take that guy out. Hopefully. Along with the Destroyers. Meanwhile, over this side, the plan is, I don't want me Overlord getting charged by that. So, I formed a screen. The particle beamers on the Tomb Blades have moved up, looking to hopefully take out some of the Rangers. And the Destroyers can maybe lend a hand with starting to eat into that night. I've jumped these warriors out of the Monolith. The Monolith has moved up right into the ruins. Again, just preventing me actually getting charged. Not that it's going to make much difference, but I suppose one less attack helps. The flayed ones have moved and ran an inch, unfortunately. And down here, the Destroyers and the other warriors pushing forward. On this side, we've got the other Tomb Blades and the Catan pushing forward. Hopefully, we can get rid of 1 or 2 of the Breaches. Maybe the Dragoon. Who knows? The Destroyer Lord and the flayed ones there, waiting for the counter strike against the Dragoon, maybe. So that was it for the movement. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Right, so the shooting phase hasn't gone too bad at all. The Heavy Destroyer managed to get a pen on the Castigator, rolled and explodes, and then rolled a 6. So the Castigator has lost 4 hull points to the Heavy Destroyer. Unfortunately, the Doomsday Ark scattered 6 inches away from it. The Immortals and the Annihilation Barge, however, didn't do any damage to it. Down here, the Rangers took fire from the Tomb Blades, and we managed to kill quite a lot of them, getting 2 direct hits and 1 scattering onto the Knight. And yeah, the Warriors then shot in, trying to soften them up. The Warriors killed 1 more, and there was nothing else, unfortunately. The Destroyers tried to go at the Lancer, and he got a glance. Meanwhile, the Destroyers down this way, we also tried to start whittling the Lancer down. Unfortunately, like I said, only a single glance went through. I was hoping to at least put some hull points on the Knights before they get into combat, but I wasn't quite as lucky with this one. Josh lost an Infiltrator here due to the particle whip from the Monolith. Meanwhile, over this side, the Tomb Blades were just within range of the Destroyers, and as you can see, we managed to kill 1. The AP4 coming in very, very handy. The Catan was out of range of them, so he targeted the Dragoon. I rolled times arrow and missed. Fantastic, eh? Never mind. So, morale checks, the the Destroyers passed, and the Skitarii over there, the Rangers, on leadership 8. So I think that's it for me turn. I'm not going to do any assault moves, so let's move on to Mechanicum, turn 1. Right, so Mechanicum, turn 1. Josh has used Benediction of the Omniscience to reroll all hits because of the amount of units he has, which is, yeah, nasty. As a result of that, he's not actually using any of the
Skitarii doctrines.
Yeah, the doctrines. So, the Dominus has moved into base contact with a Knight to repair it on a 2+ gear. Yeah, exactly. These guys have moved forward, probably looking to take out some of the Scarabs, and the nice, lovely Hellstorm template is probably going to eat into some Wraith. Hopefully we'll do some damage with the Wraiths when he charges them. The Lancer, meanwhile, is coming forward, probably to try and get through these. Maybe make a beeline for the Warlord. Who knows? The Rangers just hugging the little bit of cover that they've got on this side, trying to keep them alive. Breaches just pulling sideways, and the Onaga staying where it is. The Infiltrators moving forward, granting that minus to weapon skill and everything, and all that fluffy jazz. Meanwhile, on this side, the Destroyers, the Rust Stalkers and the Dragoon probably going to start charging over this way to the Catan, maybe the Flayed Ones. Who knows, but I think I'm going to lose a lot in the shooting phase here. Right, so the Vanguard at this side are going to be shooting into the Lich Guard at this side with the Cancer Carbines. Unfortunately, the 2 Plasmas are actually out of range. How many shots is that, Josh? 3 each?
That is that many.
And re-rolling to hit?
Yep, this many re-rolling to hit, hitting on 3s. Just as well I'm re-rolling. Well.
There, that was a bad roll indeed.
Actually, I've seen worse.
Reroll. 2 misses out of all of them. Hang on,
poison.
don't 6s do double wounds? Or 6s to wound, isn't it?
To wound, yeah.
It's not Tesla.
This is where strength 3, toughness 5 means only the 6s wound.
But they're doing 2 wounds. Do they rend?
No.
Oh, it's okay then.
1, 2, 4 saves.
Yep. So for 3 up 4ups.
Yep.
Oh. And I just realised I'm playing bad because my Reclamation Legion is spread across the board and I can't reroll once. Crap. So the Mechanicum are advancing against the Necrons, and there's wounds being dealt out all over the place. The Castigator killed a Destroyer and put a wound on one. The Cognus, heavy stubbers.
Phosphoblasters and Incendiary Combustors.
Phosphoblasters and the Flamers managed to do 2 wounds on the lead Scarab and a single wound on the Wraith there. The neutron laser from the Onaga looking across managed to kill 2 of the Destroyers down there, and the Lancer melted 2 of the Warriors. Meanwhile, Breaches here, all the Haywire managed to get 3 glances through the cover saves. The Monolith is on a single hull point. Ouch. Nasty stuff. Meanwhile, down here, the grav cannons from the Destroyers took out the Destroyer Lord. Unfortunately, his in-run and reanimation wasn't enough. I only failed 3 altogether. The Dragoon tried to take out one of the flayed ones, and the infiltrators here managed to kill 2 of the flayed ones at that side. So yeah, nasty stuff. The Rangers down here also shot at the Overlord. I took the Haywire on the Overlord himself. I managed to pass all my armour saves. So the only thing Josh has got left to fire is this fucking horrible thing. This is brutal.
Right. So that over there covers all of your Scarabs and a Wraith. The illusion of that Scarab there, which I've now just noticed.
Oh yeah, there's one under there. Right,
Can't kill them all.
let's work that out. Alright, so as expected, that Hellstorm template doubled out quite a few of the Scarabs. Josh brought down 3 bases of them. Charged in, and despite the Reaper Chain Fist only getting 2 hits, Josh rolled a double 1. Yeah, kind of like my Haywire from Dark Eldar versus Imperial Guard.
I'm just playing your dice.
My dice are shit. So, the Wraith swung first, obviously, but unfortunately didn't get any rends, and the Stomps failed to wound. Meanwhile, down here, Hammer of Wrath didn't do any damage. The Lancer got 3 hits, and Josh rolled 2 more ones. Yay. And as of course the Warriors, 3 of them went down, 2 of them went down to the Stomps, but they passed their morale, and they're staying where they are. I think. I don't know whether I want to fail. We'll see in a minute. Meanwhile, across here, the Dragoon made it in. The Rust Stalkers didn't, and the Dragoon failed to even hit. Fortunately, the what they're called,
Flayed ones?
flayed ones, yep, can't actually hurt it. So
Yeah, are they staying there or are they running?
I don't know, because if they run, I can shoot at it. We'll have to see. Alright, so Necron's turn 2. I thought long and hard, and ultimately I'm going to have to send the Catan in to get the flayed ones out. I've moved the Tomb Blades up within range to hopefully kill them. That prevents the shooting coming in, but they're then going to get charged by these guys. However, if I get out of combat here, Josh is then going to have 3 units that he's going to have to deal with. I'm hoping the Gaze of Death will also do some damage to them as well. Over here, I've moved the Warriors, the flayed ones, into position to hopefully take out the Infiltrators. Meanwhile, the Destroyers, I'm going to look to hopefully get rid of the Breaches. The Onaga is a problem, but with that much Haywire at range 36, I don't want them going near the Barges. The Barges are just holding position here, hopefully do some damage to the Castellan. Meanwhile, the Tomb Blades are zipping up the middle to get rid of those Haywires there. The Destroyer just moving into the middle as he can get a side shot in on the Knight over there. The Lord, I don't know, I kind of wanted him to charge in here, but if I do that, then Josh is seriously going to make short work of him. So the Scarabs have come back. The Lich Guard are coming across. I'm hoping sheer weight of attacks and a few with armor bin will be able to bring this bad lad down. Destroyers here just consolidating sideways with the Doomsday Ark, looking to hopefully make mincemeat of this knight. He's only on 3 hull points. We can hopefully get through him. Right, so this knight is back down to 2 hull points. A glance from the Annihilation Barge managed to go through. Shot the Doomsday Ark just at the front in the hope of clipping some of the Vanguard, and unfortunately I did scatter straight forwards, luckily killing 6 of them. The Immortals rapid fire, shot into them, got 2 wounds, and Josh with the Alpha passed both Phobe Invuns. The Destroyers even went for the Knight, but unfortunately didn't get through. So the Vanguard are going to need a morale check, but the Castellans also took a wound with fire from the Annihilation Barge down this side. The Destroyer there also got a hit in on the Knight, but unfortunately we didn't go through the armour. However, down here with the Tomb Blades, we got 7 wounds in on these guys here, and Josh failed 2 of his armour saves. The Strength 6 Blast is fantastic, denying and feel no pain, but it's AP 5. So he managed to pass a few of his armour saves. Here we managed to blast apart 2 of the infiltrators with the Warriors. The flayed ones are going to be charging in as well. Meanwhile, the Destroyers managed to take out a single of one of the breaches. So I think, are they fearless or do they need a morale?
No, they need morale as well.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, down here, Gaze of Death killed 2 of them, and the Particle Whip from the Monolith also killed 2. And the Tomb Blades, being in rapid fire range, managed to cause 3 wounds on the Destroyers. So shooting was phenomenal against the infantry, but not so good against the Knight. So there's a lot of morale checks that Josh needs to make. Hopefully the breaches and the Destroyers will run, but I want these to stay. I want to charge the flayed ones in and see what they're made of. Let's move on. Right, so this guy actually ran. He will rally on normal leadership next turn. These guys passed the morale. The Rangers here also passed the morale check, but over here the Dominus and the Vanguard failed, and Josh ran 7 inches. Look how close he is to the board edge. This guy has Zealot. These guys passed the morale, and the flayed ones failed the charge. I rolled a 3. I needed 4 because they're going through cover. As a result, the Warriors charged in, and no wounds were exchanged at all until the Phase Taser whacked one of the Warriors out of existence. Passed the morale and held. The Catan charged in and absolutely tore apart the Dragoon, getting 2 glances and a pen. Unfortunately not exploding it. It does mean though that the Catan and the flayed ones are now free to hopefully run amok up this side of the board. Combat's down here as expected. The Knight went through the Warriors. 1 was left after the stomp move, but unfortunately I was swept, and I realised I made a very, very big mistake. I probably should have charged the Warlord in, because either way I'm going to lose him in Josh's next turn. At least if I'd gone in, I could have tied the Knight up until Josh's next turn, allowing me to deal with the others. So that was a mistake on my part. I maybe should have definitely charged him in, I think. However, the Archaon is on 1 hull point. Josh swung the Reaper Chain Fist at the Lich Guard, and despite 6 attacks from the Lich Guard, I actually only managed to get 1 hit and managed to get a pen. And unfortunately I didn't roll an Explodes result. The Wraith managed to get a single rend, and the Scarabs, before they were stomped on, managed to actually get 3 glances on it. It's on 1 hull point. We need to bring it down in his turn so that then I can bring my firepower to bear on the other Knight. Let's move on to Mechanicum, turn 2. Right, so Mechanicum turn 2. The Castigator is going to come and try and rescue the Archaon. There's only 3 hull points between them. If Josh charges in and he's going for the Wraith, and then that guy goes for the Lich Guard, it is possible he could take them out, but I'm going to go for the Archaon, I think, because all I have to do is get a single glance or pen on him, which means he'll go Explodey and hopefully take that one out with him. So the Dominus has rallied, he's done his 3-inch regroup move. The Datasmith and the Castellans are pushing forward, probably to get rid of the Tomb Blades at this side. The Rangers just moving back into the cover, and as expected, the Lancer is probably going to be coming for the Catacomb command barge. I think I can say goodbye to that. Meanwhile, over here, the Breachers and the Onaga just moving sideways, as well as the Destroyer and the Princeps looking to start eating away at stuff on this side. The Neutron Laser is probably going to make mincemeat of that. Let's hope we can survive. Alright, so in the shooting phase, not a lot has happened. These guys have ran forward, looking to maybe get in a better position for next turn. However, the Castellans with the Phosphor and the Flamers managed to take out the 3 Tomb Blades. I only failed 3 saves and reanimations, unfortunately, so they are being cut down. The Lancer shot his lance into the chariot. I elected to take it on the chariot, and only a single glance was done due to the front armour being 13. Meanwhile, down here, these guys shot into the Monolith, and unfortunately, Josh rolled a 1 with the haywire, so that wasn't too good. The Breacher and the Onaga,
that's a Destroyer, we'll carry on.
Yeah, I'll get them. Shot into the Catan. And believe it or not, it was the Heavy Stubber that actually did the damage.
Yay.
So yeah, the Neutron Laser unfortunately scattered way back and missed. So, we did forget to do them at the start of the turn, but being nice people and being a new game, me and Josh mutually agreed that he's now going to use Chant of the Remorseless Fist, which means that them Knights in there are going to get to reroll hits in combat. And you're using the one, is it the Protector Doctrine
Protector
Alpha? Basically to give these guys +1 weapon skill to hit me on 3, and for him to hit on 3 as well. So I think the combat phase is going to be nasty. I'm praying to God that the Wraith down here can actually get a single rend on that one, blow it up. Yes, I'm going to lose the rest of it, me force probably, but that Knight's only on 2 hull points. So I might be able to actually take 2 of them down in Josh's turn. Right, so combat, we managed to get 2 wounds through on Overwatch. I got 3 hits and managed to kill the Princeps as he was charging the Tomb Blades. Down here, despite Josh actually rerolling to hit and hitting on 3s, he only actually killed 2 warriors, I believe. Maybe 3?
Something like that, I don't know.
Anyway, hit back, caused a single wound, unsaved wound, unfortunately. I did get 3 or 4 wounds in. But the Necrons have passed their morale check. Down here, would we expect anything less? Hammer of Wrath did some damage, and then the Destroyer Lance ran through the Necron Overlord.
The number of 1s I've rolled, I wouldn't be surprised if he was still there.
Well, I would hope so. Meanwhile, down here,
this has happened.
Yeah, I got this many hits. I don't want to see if I roll a 6.
Drop me a roll. So those are the hits.
I need to roll a 6. I don't want to look.
I can vouch for the fact he's not actually looking. Roll them. Okay.
No! The Castigator did nothing to the Wraith. The Archeon smashed the Lich Guard. And then Josh just rolled both of his stumps at the same time. He got 2d3, so 4. I suppose I could shoot them now, but I really, really need to at least bring this one down in combat.
Yes, good luck shooting 2 knights to death when they're on your doorstep.
Yeah. Ow! Right, so with losing that flank, we're going to have to make sure that we punch back hard on this side. So the Tomb Blades are going after that Destroyer. I've got no doubt that they'll probably take that out. Depending on what Gears of Death does, I might be in range. I'll have to double check. The flayed ones will be coming across to there, seeing as a lack of another target. We need to get rid of them, and I've got nothing to go for them. Meanwhile, the plan is the Destroyers have moved round to shoot the Lancer on this side. The single Destroyer is going for the rear of the Lancer. He can't put his shield on the rear, And the Annihilation Barge can either shoot at the side armour of that, or the side armour of that one. But then we've got the Doomsday Ark can land a large template hopefully and hit both of them. The Destroyers again can go for the Archeon or the Castigator. We've then got the Immortals, and this Annihilation Barge can go for the side armour of this guy. So this one's going to be the hardest to take out. Josh is going to put his shield on one of two sides. This one he's going to have to make a decision out of three. And this one or the other, but I can absolutely guarantee he'll be putting it on the left with the Destroyers over that side, probably.
The right, you mean, because you're on the left.
Yeah, my left, your right. So, let's move on to the shooting phase. Josh, where are your shields going?
Left, front, right.
On the left, your left.
Model left.
This side.
Its head's there. Left, front, right.
Cool. Let's see if we can blow some shit up. So yeah, that happened. Wow. Absolute utter devastation. The Annihilation Barge here managed to get 8 hits out of 4. Got 2 glances and 3 pens. Unfortunately, Josh failed 3 of his saves on the knight. And as a result, it exploded, taking the other knight with it, which in turn took one of the Castellans. Brutal stuff. I then made the mistake of shooting the Doomsday Ark there. Fair enough, got rid of the other Castellan, but then I shot the Destroyers and the Immortals there. Bad mistake. Should have shot them this way. The Destroyer at the rear, the Annihilation Barge there, and the Destroyers from over there managed to bring this guy down to 1 hull point. 1. If I'd shot the Destroyers and the Immortals this way, might have gotten him. Utter devastation indeed. Over here, the Tomb Blades shot into the breaches at the back, only got a single wound, Josh passing his 3-up armour save. Gaze of Death managed to take down the Destroyer. And what was the Catan power there I got?
Sky Falling Stars.
So Strength 7 blasts, got 2 hits on the Onaga, and Josh actually passed one of his 6-up invuns on the pen that I got. So that was good for him, at least he's going to get another shot in. Meanwhile, the Flayed Ones here ran, and these guys are going to be joining the combat here, hopefully take out the Princeps and the other infiltrator there. Just a note as well, the Monolith also shot at the Lancer, and it was the Monolith that actually brought him down to the single hull point. So the Lancer is going to be angry, I think. What's he going to destroy? We'll have to see. But before that, we've got this combat down here. So in the combat down here, the Flayed one of them went down to the Princep, and one of the warriors was also cut down as well to the other infiltrator. Meanwhile, the 2 Flayed ones, despite only getting 2 wounds, even with Shred, and 10 attacks each, Josh unfortunately failed both armour saves and both feel no pain. So we've consolidated 6 inches, just trying to keep around the Destroyers so that we can't charge them at that side. The Catan, meanwhile, from here, did try and attempt a 12-inch charge at the Onaga, but it was just too far away. I rolled a 10. So that's it for Necrons turn 3. Let's move on to Mechanicum turn 3. Alright, so for Mechanicum turn 3, Josh has elected to use Shroud Psalm. He has 7 units.
7 units.
7 units, so unfortunately he only gets Shrouded. And he's also elected to use Doctrine of Imperative Gamma.
Yeah, Doctrine of Imperative Gamma.
Which is +3 ballistic skill, -2 weapon skill. He needs to blow some stuff off the board. So these guys are probably going for the Immortals, maybe the Annihilation Barge. The Datasmith is going for that single Destroyer there. The Rangers, maybe it's the Immortals. The Lancer has pulled back, protecting his backside, maybe killing the monolith, maybe the destroyer if the Datasmith doesn't kill him. Meanwhile down here, the breaches have stayed where they are, looking probably to start eating the destroyers first. And the Dune Crawler looking to drop the neutron laser, probably double out some destroyers as well. So that was it for the movement phase. Let's have a look and see what damage is done in return and how Josh answers to that. Right, so with these guys at ballistic skill 7, between them deleted the Immortals. The Rangers hiding out in the ruins got a lucky shot through. I elected not to jink and Josh rolled an 11 for the Armor Bane Strength 4 gun. We couldn't work out why it was necessarily a thing, Strength 4 Armor Bane. Yeah, we just found out it's just there. Went through and destroyed the underslung gun on that Annihilation barge. Down here the neutron laser took aim, got a direct hit on 2 destroyers. One of them passed the res though and insta-killed. The other one, the heavy stubbers, unfortunately doing no damage. As a result, these guys with the arc rifles shot all the way through here. I elected not to jink and Josh caused a single glance. Meanwhile, the Datasmith shot his gamma pistol in at the destroyer even, and failed to wound, and then charged him and unfortunately was insta-killed. So yeah. The only other thing was the Lancer charged in and the Hammer of Wrath wrecked the monolith. So that is it for Mechanicum turn 3. Let's have a look at Necrons turn 4. Going into this war zone. Can we start to collect up the objectives? Let's have a look. Right, so it's time to start thinking about the objectives. And the Spider will hopefully be able to take this one. She'll have to run, but the destroyers are on it for the moment. The destroyer, probably going to look to take out the Dominus first if I can with the heavy, and then unload everything else into it. Meanwhile, Doomsday Ark is looking straight sideways at the Lancer, as is the Annihilation barge. I need to move this heavy destroyer, but I don't know what to do with them quite yet. The Warriors are getting a 2-inch move through cover. I was hoping maybe to start making it over to the objective behind there. The destroyer's here, looking at the front of the Lancer. He's going to get cover regardless. But yeah, down this side, the Catan, maybe Gaze of Death them, and then shoot and charge the Onaga, see if I can kill it. Both units of flayed ones will be going for them. Tomb Blades are going to be sitting on their objective and potentially help support taking out the Onaga, maybe those guys. Right, so the Spider got a 5-inch run onto the objective. These guys shot into the Dominus here. Josh managed to look outside and kill one of the Vanguard, but one of the wounds actually went through and he failed his rerollable Feel No Pain, the reroll being granted from the Warlord trait from the Annihilation barge. The Doomsday Ark took aim, got a direct hit on the Lancer, but Josh passed his in run, and in the end it was the Annihilation barge that managed to glance it. As a result, this destroyer and these destroyers shot into the Onaga and didn't do anything. The Catan got which power?
I don't know. Cosmic Fire.
Cosmic Fire, so strength 6 blast, direct hit. Unfortunately, didn't do anything. In the end, it was the Tomb Blades that rapid fired into it, getting 2 glances, and Josh unfortunately not passing any of his saves. He didn't get the 5 cover save due to the Nebula scope.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, these guys here took fire from the Warriors, and the flayed ones charged in. Only the 2 made it, unfortunately. The 5, unfortunately, only rolled a 3-inch charge distance. I lost one due to Josh doubling us out and failing me res, and it didn't cause any wounds. So that is tied combat down there. I've got the assault jumps to do on the destroyers. and then we'll move into Mechanicum turn 4. Alright, so me and Josh have talked it out and we're going to call the game there. I actually hold 3 objectives and Josh holds this one. He does have Slay the Warlord and he does have First Blood, but I've got 3 objectives for 9 points plus Line Breaker, giving me 10. It's going to be very, very difficult for him to shift me off any of the objectives.
3 units, one of which is in combat. I mean, fucking impossible.
Yeah. I don't know if I like the Skitarii. They seem very glass hammerish. What do you think of them, Josh?
I honestly don't know. Eternal War was never going to be easy with a army made of glass. But I think they could do pretty well in Maelstrom, because they've got the ability to do pretty much anything with your Canticles and your Doctrina, as long as you get the right combination off in the right time.
Yeah, I think what you did where you were re-rolling hits with re-rolling hits in combat and then granting extra attacks with them knights, that made mincemeat of them wraiths and the Lich Guard over there.
Yeah, but look how that got me.
Yeah, you ended up a sitting duck, but you had to do that because otherwise the Archon was going to go. And
to be honest, I think if the Archon had gone, there's a good chance it would have taken a lot of your stuff with it, and then the Castigator would have been available as a counter-attack.
Exactly.
As opposed to a cavalry.
Yeah. I think that was maybe what cost you, because then he was sat there in the middle.
To be honest, I just want to know why the hell my Annihilation Nexus won't do that in my games.
I want to know why my knights don't perform like these ones do, because let's face it, they killed a lot between them.
Yeah, but you suffer from knights the same way your mate over at Warpforge does. He reckons it'll do everything. They won't.
No.
They're a multiplier, they're not a spearhead.
Agreed. So, I hope you've enjoyed the battle. We've tried to get as many rules right as we can. Let us know what you think of the Skitarii Cult Mech. What would you change, if anything? Do you think the normal knights would be better? Do you think the Castigators are better? Let us know what you think. Thanks for Josh for coming around. It's been difficult. Both game-wise, I mean, he's pretty much guided me through Necrons. It's only my 4th or 5th game with them. And we're both new to the Skitarii Cult Mech. I think adding the second Onaga and Dragoon is going to make a difference.
Yeah. Honestly, I would try running this with normal knights.
For the firepower.
Well, not even for the firepower, because we don't exactly lack firepower. We just... I don't know, we lack something. I don't know, try running Triple Gallant just because.
Yeah, maybe we'll see that, but I think that the Dune Striders, the Rust Stalkers and the Infiltrators, the mobility that they've got to get across the board, I mean...
Yeah, but that's the only unit that moves fast between the entire 2 codexes.
It is.
So unless you're willing to invest in the Flesh Tearers Rentapod, which, let's be honest, you can do.
Which is a thought. How about that guy, tanking wounds, with 9 Vanguard in a drop pod, with... What can you get? You can get 2 plasmas.
Two plasmas.
The Alpha can take plasma.
You can take a something pistol that's funky. Phosphenix. I'll do it.
That's the one. I think that in a drop pod would be quite damaging, especially ballistic skill 7 re-rolling hits.
Yeah, re-rolling hits it'll do.
Re-rolling hits with the +1 ballistics. Well, even then.
Just re-rolling hits will do. You won't need much else. Coming out of a drop pod though, if you want to invest in Flesh Tearers, you definitely do not need 3 knights.
No.
In which instance, I would actually say go Crusader.
Yeah, I think that's definitely probably something to look at. Like I said, I hope you've enjoyed the game. Hopefully we'll see more Cult Mechanicus and Skitarii. It's very overwhelming. With most of the other armies, like Josh's for example, I played against his Necrons that many times that it wasn't that difficult to remember rules, because I played against them that many times. But with Skitarii and Cult Mech, you don't see them very often.
Well, they haven't been around very long.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to try and take them in. I'm very overwhelmed by the books.
And you do happen to have 7 books.
11.
Yeah, but you insist that knights aren't an army, Harlequins aren't an army.
They are.
Alright, so now you're on our side. Alright.
yeah, that's the end of the battle report, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll maybe see the Skitarii and Cult Mech Maker come back. Maybe it's the same force, maybe slightly different. Playing a Maelstrom game.
I think I want to play a Maelstrom game. I want to know how they handle it.
Yeah, I think Josh needs to play them though, because I still feel a little bit overwhelmed by the rules. So hopefully we'll see a different force taking on the Cult Mechanicus and the Skitarii next time. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next battle report.